Once again, we are back short track racing under the lights on a Saturday night, but this time it's elimination night. 16 drivers enter into the last great Coliseum, but only 12 will come out still contending for the 2021 NASCAR Championship. One of NASCAR's most popular and historic tracks, the place that brings out the worst in drivers' emotions, being and banging, bumper and bumper racing at the world's fastest half mile is the perfect spot to host the first elimination race in the NASCAR playoffs. Welcome to the third and final race of the round of 16, the night race at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. It is an absolute gorgeous night to go racing here in Bristol, Tennessee. Temperature going to be in the mid to high 60s, but also could fall into the low 70s. Low chance of rain, that should not be an issue. Slight wind south of the racetrack, high percent chance of humidity, and a large amount of cloud cover, 95%. But regardless, we will have a clean night of racing here in Thunder Valley. Welcome back to another episode of MDK Racing. My name is Jet. Hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday. And man, oh man, am I excited for tonight. Short track racing at Bristol Motor Speedway, one of my favorite, if not my favorite racetrack on the NASCAR schedule, as well as many other fans' favorite racetrack. But yeah, I'm super excited after what took place last night. If you didn't see it, you probably missed out. That was one of the greatest finishes I think I've ever seen in NASCAR history. It was truly an incredible spectacle to watch. Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric, and AJ Allmendinger being and banging and coming to the finish line. Austin Cindric just runs right over AJ Allmendinger. They both spin. Allmendinger wins, but crashes, collects Justin Haley, his teammate, Maya Snyder, and numerous other drivers in a big crash in turn number one. It reminded me a lot of the 1992 Winston, where the driver that won the race didn't bring his car to victory circle. Also, I think back to 1995 or 96 at Bristol between Dale Earnhardt and Terry Labonte when Earnhardt got into Labonte. Labonte spun, crashed, but still won and brought his mangled car into victory lane. It was an incredible race. And once again, the Xfinity Series proves every single week why it is the best series. And why NASCAR doesn't look at the Xfinity Series and think, how do we put that in the Cup Series? I don't know, but enough trying to get on NASCAR's case. Let's focus on the race, the playoffs. The round of 16 is going to come to an end tonight. 4 drivers will be eliminated, and let's take a look at what the playoff grid looks like. 3 drivers, they are safe. They know that it doesn't matter whatever happens, they're going to advance to the round of 12. Hamlin, Truex, and Kyle Larson. Those names are highlighted in green. Hamlin and Truex with their win at Darlington and Richmond, respectively. Kyle Larson, he advances to the round of 12 based on him having so many points that he basically gets a bye. Now, as we take a look, all these drivers from 4th to 12th, they all can be knocked out of the round of 16. Even Logano with plus 40, he is still not safe. His teammate plus 25 or plus 28 and Ryan Blaney. Kevin Harvick, an incredible start to the round of 16, jumps from 16th when he started the playoffs to now 6th plus 25. Chase Elliott plus 19, Bell plus 17. And then we get into the real scary zones. Brad Keselowski plus 13. Kyle Busch with a nice rebound last weekend at Richmond is now back inside the top 12 in a 10th place. Eric Almirola plus 3, and Kurt Busch, even with his crash last weekend at Richmond, finishing dead last, he is still in the playoff based on a tiebreaker. He holds that above Alex Bowman. Minus 5 in 14th place to Tyler Reddick, and William Byron and Michael McDowell. Especially with William Byron, it's going to be tough for him to make it, but he can still make it on points, minus 38. And Michael McDowell, he needs to win, but he's not going to, so Michael McDowell is basically out of the playoffs, but for the time being, he's still in it, minus 38. And now let's take a look at the odds to win here at Bristol, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting and daily fantasy sports partner of Bubba Wallace and 2311 Racing. Kyle Busch, an 8-time winner here at the last great Coliseum. No surprise to see him at the best odds, plus 400. Kyle Larson, the best driver of 2021, plus 450, not that far behind. Denny Hamlin, who is riding a great wave of momentum after 2 incredible weeks, including a win 2 weeks ago at Darlington, plus 600. And Chase Elliott, who won here at Bristol, but in the All-Star race, plus 800. Joe Logano, a former Bristol winner, plus 1,000. Kevin Harvick, plus 1,100. Ryan Blaney, plus 1,500, as well as 6-time Bristol winner Kurt Busch. Brad Keselowski, Mark Truex Jr., plus 1,600 and plus 1,800, respectively. And then we go into the next page, Christopher Bell plus 2,200. Teammates William Byron and Alex Bowman plus 2,500. Tyler Reddick, Eric Almirola, and Ross Chastain plus 3,000. Austin Dillon plus 4,500. Matt DiBenedetto plus 5,000. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Bubba Wallace himself plus 8,000. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 2021 night race at Bristol. Martin Truex Jr. with his win last weekend at Richmond puts him on the front row alongside with his teammate Denny Hamlin, a two-time Bristol race winner. Row 2 has Joe Logano in the 22 Ford, another two-time winner at Bristol, and Chase Elliott, a winner at Bristol under the All-Star race format, starts in 4th position. Row 3 has a couple of young guns, Kyle Larson in the 5 car, best finish of 2nd here, 2 different occasions, and Christopher Bell, another driver that's not too shabby on the short tracks, he finished 9th here last May. Rounding out the top 8 is Ryan Blaney in the 12 car, finished 4th here back in 2019, and Kevin Harvick, a 3-time Bristol race winner, including this race last year. Starting in the 9th position is the driver with the most amount of wins out of any active driver in NASCAR, Kyle Busch, an 8-time Bristol race winner. Last one here back in 2017. He starts alongside Brad Keselowski, who won here 3 times, including the Bristol night race in 2011. Row 6 has a Chevy in the Ford. Alex Bowman in the 48 car finished 5th here in 2018. And Eric Almirola, who has the best finish of 3rd, although it's all the way back in 2014 when he drove for Richard Petty Motorsports. Row 7 has a couple of Chevrolets, Tyler Reddick in the 8 car and William Byron in the 24 car. Kyle's older brother Kurt also with a great record here at Bristol. 6 times he's won at Thunder Valley, including here back in 2018. And to his outside is the final driver in the playoffs is Michael McDowell, who actually has a top 10 here, best finish of 10th last September. Row 9 has Ross Chastain in the 42 car, trying to continue on that momentum he's been putting on in these last few weeks. And in the 3 car, Austin Dillon finished 4th here back in 2016. Row 10 has a couple of Fords. Matt DiBenedetto finished 2nd here after leading all those laps in August of 2019, lost it to Denny Hamlin, and Chase Briscoe making his Cup Bristol debut, but he does have a win here in the Xfinity Series. Mexico's Daniel Suarez in the 99 Chevrolet finished 8th here 2 different occasions, and Eric Jones has the best finish of 2nd, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing back in 2017 in the 43 car. Row 12 has Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47 car, finished 2nd here on 2 different occasions, and Ryan Newman potentially in his final Bristol start, also best finish of 2nd all the way back in August 2004. Row 13 has Chris Buescher in the 17 Ford and the 41 car of Cole Custer. And here are the final remaining rows. Row 14, Ryan Preece and Bubba Wallace, Justin Haley and Anthony Alfredo, Corey LaJoie and BJ McLeod. Row 17, Balicki and Quinn Half, JJ Yaley and Garrett Smithley, and James Davison and David Starr. They round out the 39 car field. Alright, so what can we expect? Let's first take a look at the race analysis. 266.5 laps, but it's 500 miles the distance to complete this race. Stages on stage 1, stage 2, 125 laps apiece. Stage 3, 250 laps to make up the 500 lap event. Honestly, I can just say this. I don't think you're going to top yesterday's Xfinity race. That is, I mean, I don't know how you can top that because that race as a whole was just fabulous to watch. But for the race here tonight, I think you're going to see a really good race. The thing is with this Gen 6 car, if there's one thing that the Gen 6 car has always excelled at, especially on low downforce packages, is the short tracks, especially at Bristol. It has been putting on bangers really since 2017, in my opinion. Now, it will be interesting because I do believe NASCAR is going to be reapplying the PJ1 sticky substance on the bottom of the racetrack to try and bring back the old Bristol, that one lane type of racing where it really forced drivers to move other drivers out of the way if they wanted to advance their position. I don't know if the top lane could come into play maybe later on to a race into a green flag run. I believe we've seen that in years past where even with that sticky substance late into a run, we've seen the outside lane start to come into play. But I do think you're going to see a very entertaining race. I think you're going to see some tempers flare. You're going to see some bumping and banging. And I think overall, like I said, it's just going to be a very entertaining race. Now, the drivers to watch out for, you got to look at Joe Gibbs Racing. And I mean all of Joe Gibbs Racing. Just like last weekend at Richmond, I felt like that at a place like Richmond, all 4 drivers at Joe Gibbs Racing could excel at, including Christopher Bell, because Bell, he is a really good short track racer, and Bristol is going to be no different, I feel like. Hamlin's a former race winner. Kyle Busch, an 8-time winner. Martin Truex Jr., even though he has not won at Bristol, he has had put on some really good runs as of late, and I think he could be a factor. And again, Christopher Bell, really great short track racer, finished in the top 10 last year. he is a driver that I think can surprise some fans and some other teams and putting on a strong performance here tonight. And it's really going to be, this race, in my opinion, is going to really determine how strong Hendrick Motorsports is, because these last 2 weeks have been a major struggle. Now, I understand some of them have been, due to external factors, like at Darlington, Bowman cutting a tire. I think he cut a tire and hit the wall. That ruined his day. Chase Elliott and William Byron also cut tires and ended their days. And they were having some really strong runs, I feel like. So, yeah, you could put that into, you could put a little asterisk next to that as to Hendrick's performance in the round of 16. Even last weekend at Richmond, though, Hendrick struggled, except for Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott had the best car of the bunch, but he didn't have a race-winning car, I felt like. He probably had a top 4, top 5 car, but Larson struggled. Byron and Bowman were horrible last weekend. So coming to a race like Bristol really makes me think. I understand it's a short track, and I believe this is the final short track. It is. This is the final short track of the schedule, I believe. So I don't want to say this, like, on one side this is a make or break deal for Hendrick Motorsports, but at the same time, the round of 12 we're going to a road course, a super speedway, and a mile and a half. In the round of 8 we're going to 2 mile and a half. So it's gonna be like, I don't want to say this is a make or break deal, but this could really set the trend on how Hendrick as a whole could perform into the round of 12 and into the round of 8. If they come out swinging for the fences and all 4 cars, or even maybe Chase Elliott or Larson, if they're performing, leading laps, running up front all night long, then you could say, okay, they had a stumble last weekend, they're back to form. But if all 4 drivers struggle and we don't see Larson in the top 10, if we see him around 8th or 9th place all race long, if we don't see them up front competing for the lead and leading laps, it may be a sign of things to come for Hendrick Motorsports as we get later on into the playoffs. But yeah, I do believe it's going to be a showdown between Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports. With Team Penske, because Team Penske I feel like has been that team that you don't think about, but oh, they're there. I think maybe Joey Logano, because again, Logano has a really good record here at Bristol, so I think he can put on a strong performance, put on some good runs, and maybe even Ryan Blaney, I feel like, also. And Brad Keselowski, a 3-time winner at Bristol, he has a really good record here as of late. He can also, I think, maybe put on a strong performance and turn that number 2 team around, because they have also been struggling as of late. You look at Stewart-Haas Racing, Kevin Harvick, I think he's going to surprise some people. I think he's going to run up front, be competitive, maybe not lead laps, but I think he's going to be inside the top 6, top 7, because I'm really confident in that number 4's team, team and their performance and their speed as of late. I said this in my playoff predictions video. I feel like when the playoffs come in Darlington, I think the 4 car, they're going to step up their game and they're going to perform. In these last 2 races, they've done just that. And with Kevin Harvick, has a really good record here at Bristol. Remember, he's a defending race winner from last year. I can't see why that momentum could not continue here tonight. So I think Kevin Harvick is also going to have a nice run. But now for my pick to win, I personally have Denny Hamlin going 2 for 3. He's going to win tonight here at Bristol, score his 2nd win of the season and the 2nd win in the round of 16. And the reason why is simply because of how consistent Denny Hamlin has been these last few weeks and how strong they've been. Their speed and their performance has been incredible. I mean, even last weekend at Richmond, he led the most laps, led 197. And honestly, if a caution would have come out during that last green flag run, he more than likely could have gone 2 in a row and beating out his teammate Martin Truex Jr. So winning at Darlington, finishing 2nd at Richmond, led the most laps at Richmond, led also a lot at Darlington. It's just that 750 horsepower package. And with the playoffs coming into play right now, I think that 11 team has just stepped up their game tremendously, and I think they're going to continue on that momentum, go into Bristol here tonight, and get his 3rd win at Thunder Valley. So I have Denny Hamlin winning this race. As for the 4 drivers that I have eliminated, now in my playoff predictions video, I believe I had Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, and Brad Keselowski eliminated in the round of 16. Well, I'm keeping 3 of those drivers, except for 1. Michael McDowell, Tyler Reddick, Eric Almirola, and William Byron. I think those 4 drivers are going to be eliminated after this race. The reason why is because when you take a look at the playoff grid right now, currently Almirola is ahead of drivers like Bowman, ahead of drivers like Kurt Busch. I personally feel like Kurt Busch, he's going to have a real strong run tonight. He runs really good at Bristol, and I think he can be able to capitalize on past success and rebound from last weekend's disaster. Now, Alex Bowman was a touchy subject. I was going in and out between either Almirola or Bowman. I was really going in and out with that. But I personally feel like just Bowman in general just has much more speed than Aric Almirola. And also, Alex Bowman has a slightly better average or a better record at Bristol than Aric Almirola. Since 2018, Alex Bowman has an average finish of 15.6 compared to Aric Almirola. His average finish is 24. On top of that, Aric Almirola since 2018 has scored the second least amount of points out of any playoff driver with 16.3. Alex Bowman, again, slightly better, but still better, 26.5 he's average on points. So he's finishing better and is overall just running better than Almirola at that track. And again, on top of that, Hendrick, I think, just has better speed, just more speed in general than Stewart-Haas Racing, especially Aric Almirola. So that's why I have Almirola out alongside Reddick, Michael McDowell, and William Byron. Byron, I just don't see. I think it's just too much competition. You know, it's one thing to gain 18 points, but you have to gain 18 points against some of the best drivers like Kurt Busch, drivers like Joe Logano, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. William Byron is going to have to jump 3 cars. That's the thing. He has to gain 18 spots, but he's going to have to pass 3 cars in the standings if he wants to make it into the round of 12. And with the level of competition, with how tough it is, unless one of the top drivers, unless Kyle Busch or Keselowski, unless one of those drivers has a major issue and falls out of the race, I just don't see William Byron straight up beating him. I think it's going to have to take one of the, maybe even more than one driver, maybe 2 or 3 drivers, is going to have to take them to have issues and really take them out of contention, I feel like, for Byron to make it into the round of 12. So, again, bottom 4 I have eliminated: Aric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, and Michael McDowell. But that is going to conclude this episode of MDK Race Day. Guys, tell me in the comment section down below, who do you think is going to win, and overall, what do you think is going to happen? And tell me which 4 drivers do you think will be eliminated after tonight. Love to hear your thoughts on that. But until next time, my name is Jett from MDK. Thank y'all so much for watching. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the night race at Bristol.